What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. So today I want to talk about masculine traits. Masculine traits that we cannot allow to lose. Allow these traits to be compromised upon. We have to maintain these traits throughout our lives so that our lives can be better and they can run more smoothly. You know, it comes with responsibility, it comes with hardships, but I promise when you keep your masculine traits, you're always going to be in God's favor, even when your life is not going right. As long as you keep your masculine traits, you can always pick yourself back up and things will be getting back on the right path in your life. So, number one, let's talk about competition. Yes, competition. We can't run from competition. There's always somebody that's below you that's trying to get on your level. There's always somebody just as good as you and they're trying to keep their head above water with you. So you're always fighting in the middle ground. And then there's always somebody that's doing better than you whom you want to compete with, whom spot that you want to take. Even when you don't know it. When we go out for jobs, when we go out on a sports team, we don't necessarily know the specific people, but when we go out and compete, that's the next step is what taking that next person out. And the focus is not necessarily on that person. It's on sharpening your skills and making you a better person. So as long as you are competing and going out into the world and making yourself better, going out for jobs, you're gonna always be refining yourself to do better. You in school, you want to learn, so you're gonna always be increasing your skills. You're gonna always be sharpening your sword when you go out in life, and that's gonna always keep you sharp. It's always gonna keep you ready for whatever. So when things fall apart, you always have those skills that you get from competing out in this world to get better resources, to get a better house, a car, whatever you want to call it. Then those skills can always build you back up and make you the person that you are, that people can learn from, that people can respect. And it builds your character. It builds your character as a person, and you don't run from challenges, but you meet them head on because you're used to them. There's a need for competition because if you want to be a better person, you have to compete. Number two, I'm going to say leadership. Why is leadership important to a man? Leadership is important because it gives you direction. It gives you motivation. It gives you the responsibility to achieve goals, holding you accountable, holding other people accountable. People look to men to take charge. People usually blame men when things go wrong. Somebody robbed the house, something fall apart, a house burned down, a crime happened in the neighborhood or something like that. Most men are policemen. You know, even when the wife and the kids there, they always look for the man. Why wasn't you protecting your house? Why did you do anything? Why wasn't you at home? Since men are gonna always get the blame, we're always gonna naturally look to men when things go wrong. They should already be leaders. Leadership gives you a sense of purpose. Leadership gives you that influence over other people. And it can big up your ego because people are looking to you for leadership. But the most important thing about having that bestowed up on the man is that he is held accountable, so he can't worry about the benefits of being a leader. Yes, it comes with benefits. Some modern women, they want to be leaders, but they don't want the responsibility. They want to put it back on the man. So if the man has to constantly take the blame, he might as well be the leader. So it's a masculine trait that us men cannot walk away from. On a biological level, you won't feel satisfied if you're not being a leader in your life. You're gonna find yourself in these beta secondary positions to others, and it can be taxing on your spirit when you're not respected as a leader. So you have to chunk out your piece of the world, follow your heart, follow your dreams, your sense of purpose, and be a leader within your own right, so it can satisfy your ego as a man, I would say. So that's a masculine trait we cannot compromise on. Never get into positions where you're not the leader. Never get in relationships with a woman that wants to take the lead. It's not gonna go well, it's gonna fall. Number three, I'm going to say independence. Independence, a masculine trait that we cannot compromise on. Independence, so it is having the life skills to be self-reliant. Spending that time alone. We have to learn to spend that time alone because we have to strengthen up our spirit as a person. We have to learn what motivates us, what makes us happy, what makes us strong. And it just helps our overall boundaries that we make just to keep us protected, and we know the type of people that we don't want around us who cannot be allowed in our circle. Because if you allow certain people in your circle, they can affect your business, they can affect your overall purpose in your life, your overall goals. So you have to create those boundaries. Within creating those boundaries, it creates a stronger sense of self, a stronger sense of having that independence. Remember that everyone isn't allowed. Now, when I say independence, I don't necessarily mean always being alone, being by yourself. Interdependence is the next step from independence. We have to fight the codependency. If you have any codependency in you, you really need to address that need to look for other people's approval, that need to get other people's resources because you are not working hard as that person. So now you're asking that person for help. You're asking that person for favors, and you end up being a leech and a parasite to other people. So we have to get rid of that codependence, spending that time alone and really strengthening ourselves, going back to the competition, strengthening those skills and strengthening our independence, strengthening our boundaries so that we don't allow the wrong people within our circle. That also is protection. Protecting your family, protecting yourself. You can build better foundations and structures and possibly work with other men that has strengthened up their competition level, their leadership level, and he can take what he does best, you can take what you do best, and you can build something powerful. But you have to go through the competition. You have to spend that time alone and making yourself strong. So independence is very important. Last point I'm gonna say emotions, having that emotional control. Emotions are powerful. Emotions have the power to control our behavior, control the way we think, control the vibe and the actions around us. That's what happens when we have that emotional control, or we don't have emotional control, because it can be a double-edged sword. So we have to govern our emotions. We have to have that forethought. We have to have that self-discipline to keep our emotions down and really think before we act on things. Because raw emotions, you being around someone with raw emotions. Women are more emotional. They're more emotional. Men that's raised by women, emotional. Some of the scariest people. When you act on those raw emotions, because emotions they waver. If we just walk down into society and we just allow our emotions to just be on our sleeves, then any comment, any way a person looks at you, any vibe or shift that you feel within your environment, you're just gonna act on it. You're just gonna sway left and right. And you can't be self-disciplined. You can't achieve goals. You can't be a stable person if you allow your emotions to just waver. That's why we have to get our emotions under control. And that's going to build character. That's going to make us more successful as a person. And then we let those emotions out into the right field, into the right environments where you can have that aggression. If you can see that with boxers, you see that with athletes, they control those emotions for the right moments. And you don't just waste their energy on petty fights with people that's trying to get under your skin. Because when you don't have that emotional control, it's easy for people to manipulate you. When you have emotional control, then people respect your actions. You teach people how to treat you, and people start to look at you as an authority, and they want to learn. You're just more of a rock. You're more of a source of stability. You're just being that stoic, powerful presentation, walking in what God expected us to be as men. And these are just masculine traits that we cannot allow to compromise on and lose in our life. It's gonna keep us respected. We walking in God's favor, and women respect us as well. So those are the masculine traits. Quick video. Hit me up in the comment section if you have anything to say, and I will be back with the next video. Peace.